You are wrong. Despite being parked in a peaceful corner of ancient Greece under the shade of the tall cypress tree, Jess and Layla couldn't hear themselves think. There were 7 astronomers in the back of the van now, and they were all yelling at each other. Of course the Earth isn't round, shouted Thales. I never said it was round, you silly old goat, Anaximander shouted back. I said it was cylindrical. Young man, I am your teacher, and I know best. La 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 la. Anaximander was pressing his hands firmly to his ears and singing. I'm not listening. I'm not listening. Meanwhile, Aristotle was glaring at Copernicus, shaking his head. Earth is the center of the universe, sir. How dare you suggest I'm wrong? I suggest you are wrong because you are clearly wrong, said Copernicus loudly before adding, or is your brain in your beard? If it is, said Aristotle, sneering at Copernicus's smooth chin, then that must mean you have no brain at all. In addition, said Copernicus, pompously, ignoring Aristotle to his annoyance, I think you'll find that the planets do orbit in a perfect circle. I agree with Copernicus, said Galileo, stabbing a finger in the air. Well, surprise, surprise, said Aristotle in a sarcastic voice. He's the only one talking sense around here, said Aristarchus, suddenly chiming in and pointing at Copernicus. Him and that one with the long brown stick, he added as he stroked his long white beard. My name is Galileo, said Galileo, stepping forward, and I think you'll find it's not a stick, it's a telescope. Pythagoras at this moment was the only astronomer not arguing with anyone since he was far too busy staring through the window at the back of the van. Listen to the music of the spheres, he said in a dreamy voice. Such lovely music. This is giving me a headache, Layla, Jess eventually announced. I think we should take them all back home. Seriously, no homework is worth this much trouble. Layla was fiddling around with the van's controls, trying to ignore the bickering astronomers, and as she fiddled, she realized there was a button on the dashboard that she had never seen before that said, Full Blast. What do you think this button does, Jess? Layla asked. By the looks of things, it turns on the air conditioning, Jess said, peering at it. It turned on the air conditioning before the van became a time machine, said Layla, or at least it did when the air conditioning worked years ago. But what does it do now? I don't know, but something tells me you're going to press it anyway, sighed Jess. Layla flashed Jess a smile and then jammed her thumb down hard on the button. There was a powerful flash of pure white light, and suddenly the astronomers stopped arguing and grabbed their seatbelts as the van rocketed upward. Oh, gasped the 6 of the 7 astronomers. Lovely music, said Pythagoras, still staring dreamily out the window. The van zoomed straight up into the air, tossing violently from side to side. Help! Shouted the astronomers, rattling around in the back of the van like coins in a jar. The higher they traveled, the darker the sky grew. Then, suddenly, the heating in the van came on with a buzzing sound that made Aristarchus jump and look under his seat, confused. Where are we going? Jess asked, clinging to her seat. It looks as though we're going into space, gasped Layla. But space travel in a van is impossible, shouted Jess. You thought time travel was impossible when you woke up this morning, laughed Layla. But here we are.